Imagine a classroom bustling with energy where every student is engaged and eager to learn physics. Well, that wasn't my reality. And actually, despite my best efforts, I find myself stuck in this traditional teaching model, delivering lectures, while some of my students fell further behind. It was frustrating to see their motivation fade, and I realized I lacked the time and resources to support their individual needs. Then everything changed. I developed a transformative approach using OneNote that revolutionized how my students learned and how I taught. Today, I tell you what I did. Through my teaching career, I've guided over 1,000 students, and a powerful moment came when a former student of mine honored me as her best teacher. This inspired me to participate in a co-creation of the Empower Future Learning program and share transformative teaching approaches with educators, reminding me that education's true power lies in its ability to inspire. In my traditional setup, physics felt like a one-way street. I stood at the front, explaining concepts, conducting experiments, solving exercises, but I always felt something was fundamentally broken in this setup. Despite my engagement efforts, some students disconnected. They couldn't keep up or lost interest. And I was working harder than ever, but achieving less. First, I digitized all my teaching materials into OneNote, creating a structured and accessible learning environment. And this allowed students to see their progression clearly and work on their own pace. It was like having 20 versions of myself in the classroom, helping each student on their unique learning journey. I designed chapter structures that made it easy for students to navigate through the material. And this clarity helped them to stay on track and feel a sense of accomplishment as they progressed. Let me actually share my screen with you to show how it looked like. Okay, it will be in German, but it's not about the language, it's about the structure. What you can see on the left side are the chapters. So I'm teaching physics, so here I have the chapters about energy and electricity and mechanics and so on. And each chapter has the same structure. So I have a chapter overview. This is the page which is on the screen right now. And they see a script where they can see all the different parts that we go through. I have a special place where they capture, like in active recall techniques, what they actually learned during the lesson. And then every section is structured in a similar way. So we have something where they can go to the script and go read what it's about today, or they have a video that they can use to go through it. I'll come to that later. Or they have some exercises and they can see on a glance, like here's a symbol of a video, here's again a symbol of a video, here's a symbol of a pen. So this is an exercise that they can solve. So it helps them to get a clear structure when they are guided through these subsections of the chapter. If they want to review only the videos, they just go to the symbols with the video. They can actually sort by that. Or if they just want to go through the exercises, they choose the other symbol and they have the solutions right down. So if they go here, they can see how could it be solved if they have it in a similar way as I do, and so on. If you want to learn more about how the OneNote is set, join me in the next live session. So group work actually became a cornerstone, empowering students to help each other. This ensured no one was left behind and fostered a collaborative learning environment. Inspired by the book Teach That Homework, I developed the skill match method. And this approach boosted motivation by allowing students to bring in their strength rather than just completing homework. I will have a description showing you how to set it up in the classroom. But what about delivering new input when students are learning at their own pace? How can you ensure everyone receives the information they need without being tied to a single timeline? And this was the second change. To ensure everyone received the necessary information without giving up the freedom of learning on their own pace, I created my own videos. Using the platform EdPuzzle, I made learning interactive by adding questions, comments, additional resources directly into the video. And this allowed students to get immediate feedback and engage actively with the material. This is how it looked in the real time. Let me share a video with you. So this is a video of the chapter in
Der Höhenunterschied wurde erreicht, indem man bei der Pumpe Energie investiert hat, um das Wasser in die Höhe zu pumpen. Auf der einen Seite herrscht nun ein höherer Druck als auf der anderen Seite.
Screen.
Weiter beinhaltet der Stromkreis ein Rad und einen Hahn. Die Druckdifferenz ist der Antrieb für den Volumenstrom.
And there will be a question. So students are asked to check on the knowledge, to check whether they have understood the concept they were watching for the last 30 seconds or 1 minute. So they get immediate feedback. I just put something in to see. They see, oh, okay, that was right, great, oh, that was right too. They can continue.
Zu jedem Element im Wasserstromkreis gibt es ein Element im elektrischen Stromkreis. Die Funktion der Gefäße mit hohem und tiefem Druck übernimmt hier die Batterie. Sie hat
next questions arise, or here it's a note, because I want them to stop and think. I don't want them to go through a video. Often people have the feeling of, oh, yeah, I understand what this person is talking about, but the person talking on the video thought through the whole stuff. So this person has a clear understanding of the subject. Then it sounds easy, but it's when you engage with the material, when you really notice if you understood it the right way or not. So sometimes I would just put a note inside and say, think about it and write a comment in your
Diese Potentialdifferenz, die Spannung beträgt 230 Volt.
And then the next question arises. It's again a multiple choice question. Sometimes several things can be right. And if something is wrong, you actually can put inside a comment to help those students who had this question wrong. So you don't have to give comments to all of the students where partly they wouldn't be interested in this kind of question. So this allowed me to address students' needs as they were going through the videos and give them the opportunities to have individual learning paths. If you want more, if you want to learn more about EdPuzzle, leave a comment in the chat, and this could be the next training session in February. So I want to be honest. Every change comes with its challenges, and it's often easier to stick with what we know, even if it's not entirely satisfying. Were the students excited about the change from the start? Not all of them. Taking more responsibility for their own progress also means there is no one else to blame if they don't achieve the grades they expect. So the transition took some time, but was it worth it? Absolutely. The benefits far outweighed the initial friction, and the end result was well worth the effort for both sides. Students began taking ownership of their learning, reviewing material as needed, and sometimes even preparing ahead of time. Comments like, May I watch this video from the last lesson again before I proceed? Or I've already watched that video because I knew I would be absent last week. Showed me that students were engaged and proactive, and that definitely never happened before. The most significant step in this transformation was the hardest. And it wasn't about the tools. It was about shifting from being an information provider to a learning guide. By adopting a growth mindset, I recognized my role was not just to deliver information, but to support and guide students as they navigated their unique learning journeys. And this shift fostered a culture of continuous learning and growth for both my students and me. It sounds simple, but it was definitely not easy. I often found myself thinking, what if they don't work? I need to control them more to make sure they really do something. And at the beginning, I had really to concentrate hard to avoid falling into this tone of, I caught you doing something else. So instead, I tried to approach them with curiosity. I asked, for example, I see you working on something else right now. Can I help you get back on track? And it paid off. My relationship with the students became much closer because they realized that I genuinely cared about supporting their learning. And the transformation was remarkable. I actually remember one class where it started to get boring for me. Everybody I asked told me, I'm on track. I don't need help. No, it's okay. Gorgeous. So this journey taught me that the true power of education lies in its ability to inspire. By embracing technology, structured learning path, and a growth mindset, I transformed my classroom into a place where every student felt empowered to succeed. If you're curious about how you can apply these strategies in your own classroom, I invite you to join the next session. And remember, every small step towards innovation can lead to significant changes in your students, in how your students learn and grow. So I'm curious, what was your key insight today? Write down in the comments, and thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm looking forward to hearing from you and hearing from your own transformative experiences. Bye-bye.